Exception handling. In any programming language, there are two types of errors. There are two types of errors. First one is syntax errors. Second one is runtime errors. Runtime errors. What are syntax errors? Syntax errors. For example, if you have yes, open this ideally. I will be giving a print of hello. Okay, hello will be printed. I will be giving def f1. This is a function which return uh, 25, return 25, or give as print hello, print Sanvian Technologies. Call f1 function. Call f1 function. When you call f1 function, it will be printing Sanvian Technologies. Okay, here there are no any syntax errors. For example, if you give same function, if you give def f1 off and click on enter. See here, what is the syntax error you got? Expected colon. Expected colon. This is called a syntax error. This is called a syntax error. Okay. The errors which occurs because of invalid syntax are called syntax errors. Are called syntax errors. Okay. Let us take another example. Let us take another example. I give x is equal to 10. I will take in PyCharm. Okay. Open PyCharm. Close all tabs. Okay. Delete this. And create a package exceptions again. Right click, new Python package. com.sanvihan.exceptions. Exceptions. New Python file. Python file. Syntax errors ex.py. Okay. Here give x is equal to 10. If x double equal to 10. Enter. Print Sanvihan Technologies. Print Sanvihan Technologies. Tell me what is the error here? What is the syntax error here? The syntax error is, see, it is displaying already. It is showing you. It is showing you. See here. Expected. What is expected? Colon. Colon is expected. Okay. When you give colon, it is not a syntax error. Okay. Correct. Okay. Compulsory. You have to end with a colon for if or for function or anything. Okay, that is called a syntax error. That is called a syntax error. Okay, who is responsible? to correct these syntax errors. Programmer is responsible to correct these syntax errors. Once all syntax errors are corrected, then only program will be executed. Then only program will be executed. Why? Because see, Python is interpreted programming language. Interpreted programming language means it checks line by line. It checks line by line. Okay. In this line, if any error is there, then it will show in this line there is an error. Okay. After correcting that line, then it will tell again. It will go to next line and check is there any error in this line or not. Okay. For example, I will be giving like this. Here also I will be giving, I want to give this braces. This braces, see. Save it. It is showing red mark. Expected. And here also it is showing end of statement expected. Okay, if you write the same program, normally in Notepad++ or anywhere, save it. Save it as test.py. Test.py. Save. It is already there, so replace. We already opened. Okay, close this and save again. Save. Yes. Go to command prompt. Go to F drive. Now Python test.py. Okay. See, it is showing only one line. Why it is not showing next line? Why? Because it is interpreted programming language. In interpreted programming language, what happens means it checks for errors line by line. Okay, when you correct in this line, then it will show in the next line. Let us check. Let us see. See, I corrected here as I have given as colon. Save it. Run again. Run again. See, missing parenthesis in call to print. Did you mean print off? Okay. Now again we have to correct it. This is nothing but syntax errors. These are nothing but syntax errors. Okay. Next. Next. Runtime errors. Runtime errors. These runtime errors are also called as exceptions. While executing the program, if something goes wrong because of the end user input or programming logic or memory problems, then we will get this runtime errors. Okay, for example, I will be giving print of 10 by 0. 10 by 0. Okay. Normally in programming languages, when you give print of 10 by 0, normally in mathematics, print of 10 by 0 means infinity. 10 by 0 means infinity. But in programming languages, 10 by 0 is not infinity. Okay. We call it as exception. We call it as exception. Okay. In Python, you will be calling it as 0 division error. Division by 0. Division by 0. Okay. Or there is another example. Print of 10 by 10. 10. This is also an exception. This is also an exception. What is this exception means? It is nothing but unsupported operand types. Int and str. Int and str. Okay, let us check it. Let us check. Print of 10 by 0. 10 by 0. See here. 0 division error, division by 0. Okay. Next, print of 10 by 10. See, unsupported operand types for int and str. Okay. Here, when you give like this, it is called as exception. It is called as exception. What is the definition of an exception? What is the definition of an exception? What is exception? An unwanted and unexpected event that disturbs normal flow of execution is called an exception. An unwanted and unexpected event that disturbs normal flow of program or execution is called an exception. For example, zero division error, type error, value error, file not found error, okay, EOF error, sleeping error, tire punctured error, okay. Here, it is highly recommended to handle exceptions. The main objective of exception handling is graceful termination of the program. Graceful termination of the program. Okay, exception handling is not meant for repairing exception. We have to define some alternative way to continue rest of the program normally. Okay, let me tell you one example. Let me tell you one example. See, you're traveling by car. You're traveling by car. Okay. In the middle, suddenly, your tire has blasted. Okay, what will you do that at that time? Or your car broke down. Your car broke down. What will you do at that time? You will call the assistance. You will call assistance. Okay, and tell them that my car is broke down. So you have to come and repair it or do something. Okay. It takes so much of time. It takes so much of time. Okay, instead of that, if you are going, for example, if you are going by car any long journey, or if you are going some tour, okay, what will you do before going? You'll give your car to service center, and you'll make your car service done perfectly, and you will do some precautions. Okay, you'll be making some arrangements, some precautions, and you'll be traveling. Okay, that is called exception handling. Suppose if anything happens, there should be another way. There should be another way to continue your journey. Okay, you won't stop your journey if something happens, right? You will continue your journey. That continuation is nothing but exception handling. Okay, you should handle your exceptions and you should not stop your journey. At any cost, your journey should happen. In the middle, something may happen, but you won't stop. That is called exception handling. Okay, exception handling does not mean that you have to repair exceptions. We have to define some alternative way to continue rest of the program normally. Okay, I'll tell you one example here. Uh, I'll tell you one example. Normally, you will be writing first line of the program. Okay, second line of the program. Second line of the program. Okay, in third line, this is the line. In third line, you are thinking that you have exception. You have exception. You have exception. Then you won't stop your program. You won't stop your program. That program should go to fourth line. It should go to fourth line. Okay. It should go to fourth line. That is called. Then in third line, you have to handle. If something happens, you have to handle the exception. That handling, how to handle and how to do and how to continue your program normally. Okay, you'll be having some keywords. You have to learn that keywords. Okay. Next, I'll tell you one more example. For example, our programming requirement is reading data from the remote file, which is located at London. Okay, I want to read that file. At runtime. Suppose if the London file is not available, okay, that program should not be terminated abnormally. We have to provide some local file to continue the rest of the program normally. Okay, that way of defining alternative is nothing but exception handling. Okay, I will explain you this example again. I have one programming requirement. Okay, I have one programming requirement. See, this is a file. Yeah. See, I have a FedEx project. There is a project called FedEx client. Okay, FedEx client. FedEx is the client. Okay, FedEx is nothing but a logistics domain client. Okay, like DTDC, Blue Dot in India. In US, FedEx is a logistics domain client. Okay, in India, how we have DTDC and Blue Dot. In US, you have FedEx. Okay, there is a customer. Okay, customer wants to send a packet from US to India. Okay. Okay, FedEx is nothing but courier based. Now he has booked the courier as freight service. Freight service means by plane, by aeroplane. Okay. At that time, after booking, next day, due to cyclone, all flights are cancelled. Then what that FedEx people will do? Will they keep that packets in US? No. At any cost, they should send to India. At any cost, they should send. Okay. They will set an alternative, sending a packet. Instead of sending a packet by freight, they will be sending in another way. How they will send? Either by using ship or boat or like a truck or anything, by road or by water, anything. Okay, that alternative is nothing but exception handling. Yes. Normally, default exception handling in Python. Okay, every exception in Python is an object. Okay, for every exception type, the corresponding classes are available. What happens means, whenever an exception occurs, PVM, Python virtual machine, will create the corresponding exception object and will check for handling code. Okay. Exception is nothing but an object. For every exception type, the corresponding classes are available in Python. Okay, what the Python virtual machine will do means it will be creating corresponding exception object and will check for handling code. Suppose if the handling code is not available in Python, then the program will be terminated abnormally. Okay, and it will be printing some corresponding exception information to the console. But the rest of the program won't be executed. Rest of the program won't be executed. Okay, for example, I will write in this test.py only. For example, you have print of hello, how are you? Okay, print of 10 by 0. 10 by 0. Print of your packet is reached. Reached. Okay, save it. Save it as test.py. Test.py. Okay, run. Python test.py. Okay. Here, where the exception is there in this line, in second line. Okay, 10 by 0. In second line, exception is there. First line will be executed. Second line, exception is there. Then it will be terminating abnormally. It will be terminating abnormally. See, first line is executed. Second line, we got an exception. Third line did not execute. Third line did not execute. But third line is very, 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 very important for me to execute. It is very important to execute third line, but it did not execute. This is nothing but abnormal termination. I want graceful termination. Graceful termination means it should execute first line. Okay, if any exception is there, it should handle that exception. After handling the exception, it should execute third line. Okay, how to do that? How to do that? That we will be learning now. That we will be learning now. Okay. For that, what you have to do means, you have some keywords in Python. Those keywords are try, except, try, except. Okay, that all we will be learning now. Okay. Yes. Now we have, in Python, we have exception hierarchy. We have exception hierarchy. Okay, let us learn that exception hierarchy. Okay. Yes. This is base exception. Okay, first I will execute this code and I will show you the exception hierarchy. Okay. Print hello, how are you? Okay, with the exception handling code. With the exception handling code. Try. Except. Except zero division error. Except zero division error. When zero division error occurs, what you have to do? What you have to do? Then Either you have to give as print division by 0. Division by 0 is not possible in Python. In Python. Okay, run it. See here. See, hello, how are you? Division by 0 is not possible in Python. Your packet is reached. See, we got 3 lines. We got 3 lines. Okay, we got third line also, which is important for us. Which is important for us. That is the use of try and except. Try and except. Okay, here